I recently became licensed as a marriage and family therapist. Some of you couples in the crowd know the Gottman approach, those couples that have been to therapy. Those couples that haven't, it's 2024. Therapy's cool now. So in the Gottman approach, we have this thing that we call making emotional bids at one another. And an example of this is, let's say there's a couple sitting in their living room together. One person says to the other, "Wow, look at that bird out there. Isn't that beautiful?" In that moment, the person who is sitting next to them, their significant other, has a choice. When they make that bid at connection, they can either turn towards their partner. They could say, "Wow, that is beautiful. It's really nice." They could ignore them, right? They could turn away. And in my time observing Jay and Megan, Jay never misses a chance at a bid for connection with Megan. Whether he's calling her chickadee, or he's saying, "Excuse me," or he's brushing a piece of hair behind her ear, saying, "Isn't she pretty?" He's always making a bid at connection. And when he's not making a bid at connection with Megan, he's making a bid at connection with my dad, Ted. But seriously, growing up, looking up to Megan, you have always been such a kind, compassionate, intentional human being. And I always knew that you would find someone who looks up to you as much as your younger sister does. I think it's easy when you are all of those things as a woman in this world to fall into a relationship with a man who might be intimidated by those things. But Jay is not. And he loves to show you off, and I am just so lucky to call Jay my first ever brother.
Welcome everyone. We're here today, as you know, in the presence of family and friends for one of life's great moments, and that's the joining of two hearts, the heart of Megan, the heart of Jay. They're going to proclaim their love for each other in just a short interval of time, and their commitment to each other. We'll learn more about that later. As we know, marriage is a promise. It is a mutual agreement to explore and to honor one another and to grow together. Those of you who know these two young people wouldn't have any trouble accounting for their maturity level. They're going to handle all the boxes being checked, and they're going to grow their lives together. After today, Jay and Megan will not just be a couple, they'll be a family. A single entity, and that entity will be held together by love and devotion.
I wanted to say a few words about how I personally knew that Jay was going to be the one that Megan would choose. So my sister is so many amazing things. She's beautiful, smart, kind, thoughtful, and caring. and she's also a little bit particular just in her life, which is totally fine. She would go to prom or homecoming with a date, and I would kind of be like, Megs, wink, wink. She'd just be like, ew, Madison, don't even ask about that. I'm like, okay, sorry. So Megan's always known her self-worth, and it's something that I've always admired about her. So now Jay enters stage left. To know Jay is to love him. He's the only one who will stay up late and watch scary movies with me. And then he also will share his 5-hour energies when we've been up since 3 a.m. He's the first one to jump up and help my mom if she's making dinner to set the table. And he's also the first one to wake up early to watch Formula One with my dad. He's my sister's biggest protector, and I will always love him for that. The first time I met Jay, we were having a family dinner. In the middle of dinner, Jay breaks into an impression of Jim Carrey from The Mask. And if you've ever seen that, it's very scarily accurate. It's scary, the eyebrows and stuff. And I looked over at my sister expecting her to at least roll her eyes or her nostrils to be flaring. And she was just smiling with her dimples and all. And kind of in that moment, I knew that Jay was becoming my big brother.
Megan, you are the kindest, most patient, selfless person I have ever met. Everyone that has had the pleasure of knowing you, and anyone I've had the pleasure of introducing you to, has shared that sentiment. Your ability to warm a room with your beautiful green eyes, dimples, and smile is so contagious. But more than that, who you are as a person is what is most unique and what I've fallen in love with. I can't believe I'm the fortunate one who gets to be standing here in front of you today. It's incredible to witness the collective admiration from all of those who have had the pleasure of being around you. From my friends, colleagues, family, parents, especially my father, who has never been shy about being very honest with me, or anyone for that matter. His reaction to having met you and gotten to know you, it says it all. From the moment I saw you sitting in the back of that classroom in San Francisco 2019 and making a subtle move to ensure I sat next to you out at the group dinner that night, I knew there was something about you. And although we played hard to get for a few months, getting to know you during COVID was one of the most exciting experiences of my life. As we got close, it almost seemed a bit fairy tale. How can someone be what you truly are? Not only are you gorgeous, kind, patient, understanding, sympathetic, but you're also selfless, incredibly intelligent, you have a wonderful sense of humor, impressively social, but more than anything, you're the best person I have ever met. Your grace and commitment to everyone around you and to our relationship is amazing. What I truly love about you, Megan, is you give me the ability to be me. In every way. It's not often people can let down the veil in a relationship or a marriage, and I can do that. Having been patient most of my life with relationships and now pushing 40, I can confidently say I have met my soulmate, and I recognize how fortunate I am. You are, and forever will be, my right hand, partner, best friend, and better half. I promise to always be there for you, as you deserve that and so much more. What you bring to the table has forced me to be better. And I still have ground to cover. My culinary skills is an example. Although I'm not bad at post-meal cleaning, I'd hate to see you always churning out the delicious meals. Lighthearted jokes aside, I vow to prioritize you and our family first, because no one deserves it more than you. I can't wait to begin this journey, as the best is yet to come. I look forward to uniting our families. And while I'm on that topic, I want to thank you, Ted, Jody, two incredible parents. The way in which you have led your family and raised Megan is not lost on me. As I consider what success looks like in life, it's undoubtedly having the ability to raise somebody like Megan, and I'm forever grateful. Megan, thank you so much for always supporting me, having my back, and believing in me. Never did I imagine that I would marry not only the love of my life, but also my best friend. And while that line is probably overused, it's worth stating, as it's the hardest truth I've ever told. Here's to many years of blue blankies, chalkies, and tidbits. I love you.
From the moment we met, and I called my mom after to tell her Boston Scientific finally hired some real potential, you sparked my interest. However, as we began spending time together and I truly got to know you, that is the person that I fell in love with. There are so many reasons to love you, but I'm going to highlight my favorites today. I love our nightly walks, our time in the kitchen cooking together, our daily routines. You turn the mundane into something special and fun that I look forward to every day. I love that we have our own language that nobody understands. Our kids will grow up thinking that mini nukuma means good night and go to school and call their friends chickadee on the playground. We've created our own language of love, and I love that I share that with you. I love your crazy love for animals. You've melted this heart a little bit. Might even be amiable to a cat in our future. It makes life so much sweeter, and I love watching your care and attention for every creature on this planet. Those creatures also include us humans, and to me, this is one of the things I love most about you. I love the genuine curiosity and appreciation you have for every person we encounter. You are never too busy, and no one is too insignificant to listen to their life story and to make them feel heard. I couldn't be more grateful that I am the one you chose to be your partner in life. But I love that you make strangers and friends alike feel just as special. I love the positivity you carry with you. In those moments I get caught up in life's pressures, you give me the best perspective and remind me what's important. Those that know me best know that that's really important for me. Lastly, the thing I love most and admire about you is your fierce humility. You are the most impressive person I've ever met, but you'd never know it. You lead with your kindness and compassion, and your talents and all your many achievements just show themselves for themselves. I'm so excited that you're going to be the father to my children and to raise a family with you. I'm convinced that you're my soulmate. So today I couldn't be more confident in the vows I make to you. I vow to love you each and every day, to support you through life's up and downs, to love and cherish you, and to be your life's partner. You're my best friend, you're my soulmate, and it's just you and me.
There's a story I want to tell. It's, people who know me have had a couple of rough years, and my sister has always been there for me, even in ways that I don't know and I don't see. And along with that is Jay. And we fight. Everybody, if you guys don't know that by now, I really pulled it out from under you. But we fight, and we always make up. But this particular, we got into kind of a little thing, and it took a little bit less time to make up this time. Took a little bit less time, I remember, and I kind of went to her and I was like, hey, after we apologized, say, hey, love you, and I was like, hey, why did it take so, normally it takes like a couple days, I gotta bring you a latte or something to kind of like, she's like, I went out there and I talked to Jay, and he put it in perspective for me, like, she's going through a really hard time, we gotta be there for her and support her, and that was probably the most precious thing he's ever said to me. Not even to me, but just that I've ever heard him say. And it was, it took me to my knees. And it was the sweetest, most compassionate thing I've heard in a while. So I am beyond thrilled and excited to have Jay as my new big brother. And I am little sister, so beyond thrilled for you. This is gonna be such a fun time.
Sustaining a healthy marriage takes love, it takes trust, it takes honesty, patience and teamwork, compromise and understanding. These folks have those skills already. Jay is a captain in the Army. He had to have it right. He had to work as a team member. He had to have people under him perform as required. Lives were at stake. Megan, a little different background, she has 3 sisters. And she has had to learn teamwork because they're all still here with us. So we've got 2 people with skill sets to go in and engage what I think is one of the most important characteristics of a marriage, and that is teamwork. There's now only one thing left to do. By the authority vested in me, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may now kiss your bride.
At West Point, the winters are long. It's a little bit boring. You kind of get stir crazy up there. And so one thing people will do to kind of, amuse themselves is a little bit of streaking across this central square. Being bored cadets as we were, somebody would see them out the window, somebody running naked, and they'd yell, "Naked man!" And then all these heads would pop out of the windows, and everyone would be like, "Naked man, naked man!" And it's some people would decide to do this, and I guess I don't even really know how one decided to do it, but Jay gets his head like, "Hey, I'm gonna do a naked man," because it's a lot of fun. Jay likes the spotlight, and so Jay's like, "All right, I'm doing it." And so he kind of gets ready and it's going down, and so the one risk when you're doing the naked man is you have to pass by what's called Central Guard Room, and there's the officer in charge, and you usually try and play it to where a lot of OICs are, there's kind of faculty members are hanging out. They're not gonna, they might yell at you as you're like, "Hey, what are you doing, cadet?" Every once in a while you get somebody who's really intense and maybe they'll give you a little chase. But, I think Jay felt pretty confident. He's the peak of his physical prowess. He's running a 12-minute 2-mile. He's good. He's like, "I'm good to go." But our friend John on the marathon team had some other plans. And so John, plants an OIC. He gets one of his marathon team buddies to wear the officer's uniform to sabotage Jay. So, and this guy is incredibly physically fit. He's like a marathon, like one of the peak guys, and he takes off after him, and very quickly he's up behind Jay, and he's like running right behind him. And Jay's like, surprised. I'm a fast guy. Who's this guy behind me? And this marathon guy, he's not even losing breath. He's like, "I'm gonna get you, cadet. You're in so much trouble." My parents maybe lived, like 3/4 of a mile kind of away from the main cadet area. And I think Jay, wearing nothing but his sneakers, decides the Durant house is where I can go. This is my safe refuge. And so he keeps running, and he's running, and I guess at some point maybe the plants had decided not to give chase. But around like 9 p.m., completely naked, he shows up at my parents' back porch, pounding on the door. Mr. Ant, you gotta let me in." She opens the door. My dad's already asleep. He's an early guy. He's groggy. My mom said, "Brian, go back to bed. Go back to bed." She goes, "Jay, what happened? What are you doing?" He's like, "Mr. Ant, he's the fastest man alive. Mr. Ant, I'm fast, but I can't." She goes, "Get upstairs. Get some of Colin's clothes." And so he runs upstairs, and he kind of gets dressed and comes back down and says, "Mr. Ant, I don't know. I think maybe he's lurking out there. I thought I lost him, but maybe he's so fast. Fastest man alive, Mr. Ant." Okay. And so I hang out a few minutes. My mom's poking her head out, and she decides to safe. And he starts to go back out the same back door. My mom's like, Jay, go out the front door. You can sneak it out. And he makes it back, and he gets back to his room, and John, my friend, is waiting there for him. He goes, "Hey, how'd it go?" And he tells him, he goes, "Yeah, that wasn't the OIC. That was my buddy." Kind of going back to Jay being a friend to roll with the punches. Jay, some people might have gotten mad. They might have been like, "Hey, that was like a real jerk thing to do." Jay's like, "I knew it the whole time."
I just want to tell you that Mom and I think you are the most amazing person ever. And you are a person who's obviously beautiful. That goes without saying. You're smart. You make hard work look easy, but you're so compassionate for people, and you are looking out for your sisters all the time. You're looking out for all your friends. Even during this thing, you're kind of checking in on me. "Dad, is everything okay?" I'm like, "Geez, I'm supposed to be saying that to you." But you just have that compassion. And we are so thrilled that you found somebody that you can share that with in Jay. And I just remember when you guys just first started, these guys were just starting to date, and winds up, they're talking every night. Megan's still living at home, and Jay, you're off in Walnut Creek, and they're still working at Boston Scientific, both of them at the time. So you could hear Jay was on the speakerphone, and they were just work talk all the time. It was pacemakers and defibrillators, and hey, which lead you going to use? And hey, what do you think? Is biventricular pacing better, or should we use His bundle in this case? And Megan preferred His bundle. pacing, by the way. So they would get wrapped up in this stuff, and you could tell. One of them was wrapped up, and the other one would just kind of ramp him back down and bring him back to calm. And I just am so glad that you guys have that for each other. And I'll just close on. I'm going to give you some good marital advice, because this beautiful woman and I have been married 36 years. Last Tuesday was our anniversary. And it just so happens that we got engaged about 200 yards in that direction here at Silverado. Jay, for your reference, that's about a 7-iron for you. And so you'd think I'd have some good advice, but it's kind of still a work in progress. But I do know that it takes a lot of compassion and humility and just hard work. And I see you guys doing that every day.
Need your love, got that hold over me. As long as I got your love, know that I'll never leave. I wanted you to share my life, had no doubt in my mind. It's been you, woman, right down the line. How much I lean on you, only you can see. The changes that I've been through left a mark on me. You've been as constant as a northern star, brightest light that shines. It's been you, woman, right down the line. It's been you, woman, right down the line. All right, give it up for us. Beautiful.